Now, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the LifeVantage Opportunity Overview. My name is Dr. Dondee Nettles, and I want to welcome you. I'm super excited. Let me share my screen with you and explain to you why I am so excited tonight, because I've got some information that has truly transformed my life, and I think once you see this, if you give it the opportunity, it could perhaps have the same kind of result with you, but that is going to be up to you to decide. But I'm excited about it nonetheless, and I'm very honored and blessed to be able to present this information to you tonight. Let me move myself up in that top corner. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, my name is Dr. Dondee Nettles, and you are live on the LifeVantage Opportunity Overview. Let me share with you a little bit more of a background of myself and how I became your presenter tonight. For about 20 years, I was a family wellness chiropractor in Northern California, where I was born and raised, and I moved here to the Phoenix, Arizona Valley in 2003 to start my practice. And within 4 years, we had the fourth largest practice in the state of Arizona, seeing between 350 and 500 patients a week. Absolutely loving it. I took an offer to be an AM talk radio host to kind of further my passion of being a health educator and equipping people and empowering people to be self-sufficient in their pursuit of their own health status. And it was wonderful. Had an AM talk radio show every Saturday from noon to 1 on 2 AM stations here in the Phoenix Valley. Had a wonderful practice, but parenthood came during that journey. And in 2006, when my son was born, and then later in 2009, when my daughter was born, at the height of my professional career, I had no time on my calendar or in my schedule to be a father because of the demands of my practice and my radio show, which was about 80 to 90 hours a week outside my home. And when I saw, this was a little over 10 years ago, when I saw the information that I'm going to share with you guys tonight, it gave me another option. It gave me another option to work within my wheelhouse and my comfort level of health and wellness and educating people on how to be self-sufficient in their own pursuit of health, but at the same time to be able to do it from home as a parent to my children. And the biggest blessing in this is I met my wife, Marcy. She's not here with me. She's normally here presenting this with me every Tuesday. She's in Jacksonville, Florida, helping another group of our business out there and visiting some friends. But I met my wife, Marcy, in this business. And now, as a collective, we are stay-at-home parents, stay-at-home grandparents. We've got 2 grandkids and absolutely love what we do. We're a blended family, and we help people all over the world, not just in our town where I was a chiropractor and my wife, Marcy, was a police officer. We're literally having a global impact, and we're doing it from home and in a much greater capacity to influence people while being parents, not paying somebody else to give parental advice or to oversee the uprearing of your children while you go see patients, which is what a lot of my professional friends do. So all of that to tell you, I want to now take you on this journey of how literally to be a biohacker, the ultimate biohacker's guide to taking control of your own biology, which is your body, by giving you examples and giving you options that you didn't previously have. So let's start this conversation at the very beginning. If you have one of these, if you have a mobile device, a cell phone, then this is going to apply to you, because we're now living in this time which is being called the new gig economy. Gig simply means beginning date and end date of a gig or an employment contract, a part-time employment contract. And the statistics are by next year, by 2020, 50% of the labor force will be full-time part-timers, meaning full-time freelancers, meaning they're doing things like you see on your screen. They're connecting. Uber capitalized on the fact that people wanted to get to somewhere else other than where they were, and they didn't want to take a cab. And they also capitalized on there were people that had a car and an extra seat and time on their hands. So they used a cell phone model to connect people who had cars with people who wanted rides, and they called it Uber. And in 10 years, they became the #1 ride-sharing source in the world and don't own a single cab and don't have dispatch centers that you have to wait 45 minutes to get a dispatched cab to you. Airbnb did the same thing for people that own their homes and have a spare room. for people that don't want to sleep in hotels, but don't want to sleep at their house either. They connected. They are a connector. So this connecting people who want to sleep somewhere else with people who don't want to sleep in a hotel, with people who have a room to spare, Airbnb in the last 10 years has become the #1 lodging service in the world and doesn't own a hotel or a hotel room, not even one. What's the commonality? They connect people who want something with people who provide something, and they do it digitally with ease and convenience on the cell phone. Facebook has done that with communication and selling things. There's Facebook Marketplace. There's Facebook Connection, where you can friend and comment. 30% of the human race uses Facebook every day. And Amazon with e-commerce has changed the way the world buys products and how companies ship products to people in 2 days, 1 day, or same day free delivery, depending upon who you are. They use this model, they use convenience, and they use connection. People who want to buy stuff with people who have something to sell, and they use the platforms that you see there. And as a result, we've made a global impact, or these people have made a global impact. And why I start with that foundation is we have a mobile app too. And my wife Marcy and I run a 40,000 member team in 18 countries around the world from this thing right here. So everywhere we have Wi-Fi or cell service, we can run our business, which is a groundbreaking new development in home-based business ownership, but also gives you the power that we didn't previously have in this new gig economy. Now, because business has changed, I want to point you to the bottom of the screen in the 5 bars that you see there. Those are 6 components of a business that I'm going to share with you tonight to give you literally the ability to scrutinize, be skeptical, and evaluate what I'm sharing with you by following those models down there. I'm going to talk about the trends, about companies like ours and products like ours, the products, what they are, why they are what they are, how relevant they are, the company, who we are as a company. I'm going to give you some background on that. Timing and system, the right time. Is it the right time for you to look at something like this? Is there a system to follow? And lastly, how we get paid in this, because it is a business. Compensation is very important. But so this, starting with this format, it's not just breakthroughs in business, it's breakthrough in products. And I want to share that with you here by introducing this topic of conversation called Nutrigenomics. You may not be familiar with the word, but if you break it down, nutrition and genomics means genes, means your DNA. Literally taking in compounds that are natural based in nutrition to affect your gene expression. It's unbelievable what is being shown in the media, on the Today Show, Fox News as an example, but it's literally this scientific study of the interaction of nutrition and genes, especially with regard to the prevention and treatment of disease. It is big business, and it is a big pursuit for people that want wellness options where the pharmaceutical has its limitations. So the projected market in this is over $17 billion in the next 3 years. So, and that's from a consumer standpoint. People want natural options, and they would even prefer natural options that upregulate who they are as a person and give their body's physiology a better shot. That's what Nutrigenomics does. And it's, again, 17 billion projection over the next 3 years. Well, let's talk about the options that we have. Hijacking is something we voluntarily subject ourselves to every single day by the choices that we make. And hijacking is taking over something and using it for a destructive or negative purpose. For example, 10 years ago, many people had one job, and that one job was paying the bills. But as a global approach to part-time workforce, because of economics, because you don't have to pay retirement and you don't have to pay benefits to part-time employees. So you have a bunch of part-time employees and you cut drastically back on your expenses. Great for the company, maybe not so good for the employees. And now we're working 3, 4, 5 jobs. So we're taxing ourselves physically, emotionally when the money runs out and there's still a week left in the month, even though we have 3 jobs, that we can't keep the bills paid the way we did with one job a year, 10 years ago. These are the kinds of situations. But the toxicity, the chemicals that are in our environment, the chemicals that are in the foods that we eat, the preservatives, the pesticides, the things like that. Hijacking is what we're subjected to. Well, now we have another option, and that option is to become a biohacker. Now, maybe you're not familiar with the term, but I guarantee you're already familiar with the practice. So if you've ever ordered a meal and you had large fries or side salad as an option and you chose the salad, you're a biohacker. You just didn't know why. You didn't know that you were making a health conscious decision on something that was healthier for you to literally take control of your own biology, in this case with your fork, giving you the optimum genetic potential, because let's face it, salads are better than fries. It's just how it is. And we are becoming the best version of ourselves with choices that we make really not even understanding, just kind of having a little bit of information or being educated on nutrigenomics. Again, the research on how nutrients and natural compounds affect your health, and literally taking ownership and being a biohacker. That's what we're talking about. I want to share with you now a 3-minute video of how our company got started in this ballgame, what we brought to the equation, but more importantly, why, and what it's doing for people all over the world, and what it could possibly do for you as well. Check this out.
LifeVantage began in a lab with a single powerful scientific discovery. A discovery that proved that people around us have more capacity, potential, and ability within them than we have been led to believe. At LifeVantage, we can no longer accept the limits of the human condition. So we began introducing the world of biohacking. The idea that you can be better today than you were yesterday. That you can take control of your own biology. That your health doesn't have to decline as you get older. You don't have to simply accept the hand you've been dealt. In just a few short years, LifeVantage has brought biohacking to the mainstream, shortening the gap between cutting-edge scientific research and the customer. Every day in research labs around the world, we are learning how much more our bodies can do for us if we only flip the right internal switches. So we're creating products that flip those switches. And we're doing it with a dedication to quality and safety and a different approach to selling those products. Sure, we could have gone the expected route. Sold our products on big box shelves just like everyone else. In fact, at first we did just that. But we realized something. Our product sales were fueled by word of mouth and personal success stories, not marketing dollars. So we stopped paying big box stores and started paying our customers for what we're already doing, which allowed us to eliminate the gamble of traditional advertising in favor of performance-based payouts. In the process, we ended up turning biohacking into a movement, empowering women, minorities, and all entrepreneurs to break societal barriers and realize what they're capable of, fueled by the power of leveraged income. From 127 biohackers when we began to over 1 million in less than a decade, the movement has become a global phenomenon. No sign of slowing down. Our products aren't the only way we're investing in human potential. We're creating hardworking technology using AI, machine learning, mobility to make it as easy to run a LifeVantage business as it is to take a movement.
Welcome to the LifeVantage app.
Because of that first profound discovery, we are fiercely dedicated to helping others see what we have seen, to see the immense potential in those around us. It's an inspiring way to see the world. It's why the biohacker movement continues to grow at a blistering pace. It's why giving back to our communities is a fundamental core belief. And it's why in a few short years, we have expanded into 15 countries and counting and grown from one groundbreaking nutrigenomic product to over 20. It's why we now have relationships with CEOs, sports teams, and influencers. It's why LifeVantage has grown from $3 million in revenue our first year to closing in on $250 million. And it's why we will never stop. Because to change the way the world sees, you can't merely settle for different. You have to be better and engineer a world of potential in the process.
Mm-hmm. I get so excited when I see that. So that's really what we are as a company, why we do what we do, and more importantly, kind of the heartbeat of our company, what our ultimate goal is to literally upregulate the human expression and make it as powerful and as longly predictable or longevity as possible. So I want to now kind of transition from what I just started with that conversation to where people are already spending money, their hard-earned money, on product categories that we have products in. So $300 billion for anti-aging, and there's already $600 billion being spent globally on these 6 categories of products. So $300 billion for anti-aging, $121 billion on skincare, hair care, pet care, energy, and weight loss. And I'm now going to get into our product offering to share with you how we are working in this, not to get you to increase your spending, but maybe give you options in your spending for a more predictable outcome versus the products you may already be utilizing and familiar with. So let's talk about how this process started, how the conversation began over 10 years ago. Protandim NRF2 Synergizer was the product which was the groundbreaking flagship product for our company and started the discussion of supplementing versus activating. So supplementing is taking something for the reasons of bolstering something that you are deficient in, whereas activating is activating a pathway that has gone dormant in your body or has become less efficient over time. We started that conversation with this amazing product called Protandim, 5 natural plant-based ingredients that you see at the bottom. And we realized that Protandim NRF2 Synergizer, when taken, reduces something called oxidative stress by an average of 40% in the first 30 days with 100% of people that take the product. Now, maybe oxidative stress is not a term you're familiar with, but again, you're familiar with the process. How do I know that? Because if you've ever cut open an avocado or an apple and seen what happens when you leave it on the counter, you've experienced oxidative stress or the oxygen in the air damaging the fruit that you've seen. Your body has the same reaction every time you take a breath, but your body fights back, whereas avocados and apples can't. And it's this process of cellular repair, which we call oxidative stress reduction. 40% in 30 days is a big, big deal. It actually is such a big deal that the National Institute on Aging, which is a branch of the National Institute of Health, did a 10-year study and proved that this finished product extends life by 7% in mice. And we are not mice, but we are mammals. We have the same systems and they work and metabolize the same way. 7% to a human being is another 4.5 to 5 years. And BSCG and NSF certification, third-party endorsement, is huge. But why were we so excited about this product? Because it deals with the first of 3 very prominent theories of aging, the free radical theory. This deals directly with it by lowering it by 40% in 30 days, thus giving us extension of life, as you can see, thanks to the National Institute of Aging, by actually quantifying that. But maybe you need more proof. Maybe just my word isn't enough for you, and I would completely agree. You should be skeptical. We live in the day of information where Dr. Google, Dr. Wikipedia, and Dr. YouTube educate us like crazy. So there is science behind this. PubMed.gov is the website that you go. It's the website that doctors, researchers, and scientists go to do their research and where they study. It's the largest library of published medical journals in the world. Again, it's called PubMed.gov. To date, there's 26 studies published on our finished product that you see there, Protandim, in journals like the Journal of Free Radical Biology and Medicine, the Journal of Enzyme Research, the Journal of the American Heart Association, just to name a few, and done at universities like Harvard and Ohio State University, Virginia Commonwealth, just to name a few. That's the scientific backing that the products need. But maybe science isn't your deal. I get it. From a former healthcare provider, it's my language, but maybe that's not your language. There is tons of media exposure to this amazing secret that crosses over scientists and people who geek out over this kind of information the way I do to the people that are looking for easily understood information, where NBC did an entire broadcast on it. The Wall Street Journal did a cover story on it. The Today Show profiled the product. ABC News did a research or did a expose on it, which I'll talk to you about later. PBS did a series on it called Health Quest. And Dr. Phil had Donny Osmond on his show talking about how he looks so good in his mid-50s, and he held up a bottle just like that and said, "Dr. Phil, I found it. It's the fountain of youth," and he held up a Protandim bottle. Now, that's great media exposure, but this is a business. We're talking about intellectual property. We're talking about protecting your right to do business, which is why if you see at the bottom of the screen, we have 7 patents issued on the product, on the formula, on the combination, and the pathway through the body. Not patents pending, patents issued, so we have protection of the longevity of our business. There you go. So this is the second part of this story, the second product in the Protandim family, dealing with the second of 3 prevalent theories of aging, the mitochondrial theory of aging, or more specifically, the energy deficit theory of aging. Because one of the most prominent and obvious things between an 80-year-old and an 8-year-old is the energy deficit, or the gap in energy. As our bodies age, our cells get less energized because the mitochondria becomes less efficient. We found 5 natural ingredients, plant-based, that you see at the bottom, combine them together to upregulate the power plants of your cells called mitochondria. When you have cells that have more energy, you have organs that have more energy. When you have organs that have more energy, you have more energy in an all-natural way, approved again by the BSCG and the NSF. BSCG, guys, stands for the Banned Substances Control Group. They have said that these products that carry this endorsement are good enough so that the world's most elite, collegiate, professional, and Olympic athletes do not have to worry about their careers, do not have to worry about the gold medal or the championship ring that they won to have it later stripped because they were taking products that were not endorsed by this organization, and the NSF is the gold standard. Now that you see what that logo looks like, look for it everywhere on electronics and consumable products all over the world. It's the #1. So that's where the product, or the Protandim story, got its second chapter. And then a month ago, literally a month ago, we introduced our third Protandim synergizer called the NAD synergizer. Remember, these are activating pathways that have gone dormant. And if you see that graph in the bottom middle of your screen, as we age, our NAD production drops dramatically. What is NAD, you might be asking? NAD is the fuel that the managers of your cells, all cells, hair cells, skin cells, heart cells, muscle cells, bone cells, they all have energy necessity and they all have management necessity. So when you improve the energy, you improve the management of how efficient that cell is working predictably. You restore it back to the level of our youth, and our bodies perform back to the level of our youth. You're welcome. That is amazing. And 4 natural products, we're talking about wasabi, olive leaf extract, theacrine, which is the ground up bloom of a flower, and cuprous niacin. You put those things together and you revitalize the efficiency, the functionality, and the energy production of your cells. You now have just talked about the third theory of aging, called the sirtuin theory, S-I-R-T-U-I-N. Look it up. Again, S-I-R-T-U-I-N. We now have what is called the tri-synergizer. Those 3 pathways combined have a massive, let's just call it a compound effect. When you take these 3 products together, called the Protandim's tri-synergizer, the gene expression that is happening, and this is literally, remember I said it earlier, we are influencing our genes, literally our DNA. When you allow your DNA to work at a higher rate of efficiency, you simply work at a higher rate of efficiency and you're going to be around longer. So the NRF2, NRF1, and NAD by themselves, the product benefits by themselves, you see on the left pair of graphs, versus the second pair of graphs, or the right pair of graphs. In all 3 examples, the 3 products together magnify tremendously the results. So the 3 products taken together in what we call the tri-synergizer formula is the best way to deal directly with the 3 most prominent theories of aging: free radical, mitochondria, and sirtuins, in an all-natural, patent-protected way. Now, let's talk about how important nutrition is. It's incredibly important because you are what you eat, right? You are what you digest and you absorb, which is why probiotics are so powerful and so popular. But we've asked the question, why is it that we have to take so many of billions and billions and billions of active cultures of probiotics and pay a lot of money? Well, the answer is you don't. You just have to figure out how to get some of them to where they need to go. So we figured out how to engineer this. We take the probiotic, make it a round, small pellet formula or shape, and put a protective coating on it so it's not dissolved in the stomach and the acid in the stomach. And round things go through your intestines much quicker than elongated oval shaped things. It's just common sense and using a little bit of engineering and a little bit of formulation. By putting a BioTract coating on it with Wellmune in it to stimulate your wellness and your immune system, and make 3 small little tablets that go to your intestines, and then the time release formula releases 60% of the bacteria that comes in the probiotic. So 60% versus 4% of our leading competitor out there that has all these billions and billions. So 60% versus 4% gets to where it needs to be. Ours is 15 times more powerful, and you don't have to spend all the money on something that 96% of it is neutralized in your stomach anyway. It's just common sense engineering to an amazing discovery of probiotics so that you eat and digest what you eat, so your body is repairing itself and replenishing itself with the good nutrition that you're focusing on every day. And then we've talked about omega fatty acids, specifically omega-3 and omega-7 fatty acids, supporting cognitive, your brain function, your heart, your skin, your circulatory system, all very important. And this is where free fatty acids come into play. Incredibly important, and the most powerful and most readily available source of these omegas is fish. And I know some of you may have had a response like, oh my gosh, you remember back to the time you tried fish oil for the first and maybe sometimes last time, because of the unwelcome side effect of fish burps afterwards. They're nasty and they're common. So we figured out a way to engineer that too, applying a little common sense to a pathway that we take, first of all, pristine fish, taken from pristine oceans at a depth where we use GPS locators to know exactly where the fish came from in the pristine oceans. So we have boat to bottle purity. Boat to bottle purity means less processing, less mercury to begin with, so you don't have to process it out. And then you add essential lemon oil to the fish oil and you infuse it in there. So even if you chewed these gel caps, it does not taste like fish. It tastes like lemon. So lemon taste means if you're going to burp anything, it's lemon flavored and not fish flavored, so you don't offend your neighbors. Why that's important is because we're talking about something that you need to have a good experience while you're taking a good product. Otherwise, nobody wants to take it. So we figured out how to incorporate omega-3, omega-7 in proper EPA-DHA ratio, provide some D3 for absorbability, and unbelievable science and common sense goes into formulating why this omega product is superior to any other experience you may have had, because the free fatty acid is the most important thing and not the unfortunate burpee side effects that come along with inferior products. Now, that is where we started. That is what we call the foundation. Now let's talk about where population goes. Some things that are concerning to people, some things that are quests for people. Looking good in their dress and their tuxedo and their swimsuit, or even naked in the mirror. Whatever your specific intent is, the physique system, and notice the spelling on that. Physique, P-H-Y-S-I-Q, means smart weight management, because it's not about, well, first of all, do you know anybody who's ever done a diet? Or maybe you've done a diet, or 1 or 10 or 30? Diets don't work because you focus on deprivation, so you lose weight, you burn fat, but you also waste away muscle. And then when you go off the diet, you gain the weight right back, most of it fat, you don't gain the muscle back, and it's a problem. So we figured out, how do we address the issue and do a weight management system, not a weight loss system? And it's a threefold approach. Prebiotic. Unbelievable. The blood orange flavor by itself is unbelievable. If you remember Tang, or orange citrusy flavor, blood orange is an amazing flavor, but the prebiotic is what fortifies the probiotic so that your gastrointestinal tract is working properly, and there's an appetite suppressant in there. So it gives you stay fuller longer with this prebiotic that formulates feeds the probiotic to provide the priming of the pump of the system. Then let's deal with the citrus and green coffee-based fat burn. Deals with burning fat, turning that fat into usable calories, so the glucose your body can utilize, and it breaks down the fat so your body utilizes it as fuel. But we're not talking about just the vanity fat. We're talking more specifically about visceral fat. which is the kind of fat that even thin people have. It's the disease-causing fat that surrounds your internal organs and causes them to slowly break down and causes disease to develop. We deal with that fat. And then lastly, our physique protein, so that you're maintaining lean muscle mass, not wasting it, with 18 grams of protein per serving, less than 1 gram of sugar per serving, and it tastes amazing in the vanilla cream flavor. So prebiotic, fat burn, and protein is how you have a smart weight management system that flat out works. And the before and after picture right there are evident. And there's also a meal plan and a calculator to go through to help you manage this process. Then we talk about what is called our ultimate stack, which we take our vitality stack and we add Protandim NAD Synergizer and our physique prebiotic to it. And we now have the all-encompassing approach to overall wellness every day, called the ultimate stack, which is literally how you take all three, you address all three issues of aging, and you deal with digestion, and you help the body regulate itself properly so ultimate expression of health is ensured. Now let's talk about Axio. This is one of our, how do I call this? This is one of our fringe-based, amazing products that most people fall in love with, and it becomes a major focal point. This is smart energy, brain food in our Axio product. It's literally a little packet of powder that you add to a bottle of water, shake it up, and it addresses the brain chemistry by feeding your brain the balancing formula in the plant-based ingredients that come along with balancing neurotransmitters, which is how your brain talks to itself, literally improving mental endurance, focus, concentration, attention span, and mood. And we have a decaf and caffeinated formula for the younger people that want to benefit from having better brain chemistry. Again, BSEG approved, unbelievable clean formula, low calorie, low carbohydrate. It's all vegan, BSEG approved, no artificial colors, sweeteners, or sugars. It's GMO free and gluten free. And again, caffeinated and decaf version in multiple amazing flavors that are all natural. Now, True Science. True Science has become a brand of ours. We have a hair care system and a skin care system. And I'm going to talk first about our skin care system. It's called the beauty system, but anybody with skin can benefit from it, especially guys who shave every day or even maybe less frequently. It's amazing. 4-part product with a cleanser. And it's kind of, if you're familiar with toners, you understand what perfecting lotion is. It is a 4-base product focusing on cleaner, the cleanser to clean the dirt off the skin, and then 3 products to balance the pH of the skin, hydrate the skin, and especially around the eyes where crow's feet and aging can become most dramatic. Dealing with NRF2 activation and literally giving your skin the ability to repair and regulate itself with regard to the skin. And something else I want to talk about, if you are app friendly and you understand apps, there is an app called Think Dirty. You must go download it. Whether you've got an Android device or an iPhone device, please go download Think Dirty. What it does is allows you to go evaluate the products that you're already using. Take it to your grocery store. It's got a barcode scanner and scan the products that you're already using for benefit, toxicity, and environmental load. So from 0 to 3 is green. Think of it like a traffic light. 0 to 3 is green and clean. From 4 to 7 is yellow, meaning start to put on the brakes a little bit, or at least get ready to put on the brakes. And from 8 to 10, red, toxic, bad for you, bad for the environment. All of our products that we use here are 2 or below, meaning clean for you, green for the environment. So whatever goes off your skin, absorbed into your bloodstream through the brain or through the face into your bloodstream is not toxic to you or toxic to the environment. When we're talking about our next product line, when we're talking about hair care that goes off your body down the drain, it's okay. It's safe for the environment. Incredibly powerful. When you hydrate the skin, formulate the skin, and give it permission to repair itself in the most scientifically proven natural way, that is our True Science skincare system. Then we have our True Science hair care system, focusing on shampoo, conditioner, and most importantly, scalp health. It's what most shampoos and conditioners don't even take into consideration. Once the hair leaves your scalp, it's an approach to make it shiny and have more luster and have more sheen and all those things. But how about before the hair leaves the scalp? Scalp health is how you predict hair health. And we have actually won an award, 2 awards on this product. One specifically for our scalp serum, which is the best scalp serum by the Think Dirty app. Again, clean for you, clean for the environment. They rate 2s and 1s. And the Silver Stevie Award for our entire system. So we're talking about international awards by dealing with hair care at the source. Scalp care. Unbelievable what this product line can do. And then we've got our 4-legged furry animals. We have Pet Tandem for dogs, which takes the NRF2 formulation, adds cartilage, chicken cartilage, flavoring, liver, and bacon flavor, actually all natural, because if dogs don't eat it, it's not going to work. But dogs, unfortunately, age 7 times faster than human beings do for the same reasons. They die from the same diseases. They have the same issues. They just get it 7 times quicker than we do. So we've addressed that issue by taking our Pro Tandem NRF2 Synergizer and specifically formulating it for dogs in our Pet Tandem product, which we deal with now shinier coats, increased playfulness, mobility, joint issues, are amazingly help eyesight and longevity of dogs. So if you love your dog and you want to keep them around longer, this is an absolute must, and you're going to be the most popular dog owner at the dog park. Trust me on this one. So now let's get into the company. Where did we start? Well, we started back in 2003 as a retail product where our products were a retail company selling our products on store shelves. The problem with that approach was that it was scientific technology ahead of its time. People didn't understand what oxidative stress was. They didn't understand the benefits of addressing free radical biology. So the products that were on the shelves of CVS pharmacy stores, Rite Aid, Walgreens, GNC, High Health Nutrition stores, and several other online stores simply weren't selling because people didn't understand what they were for. Well, that all changed in 2010 when our company was faced with the decision, what do we do with the information that we understood and we learned from our ABC broadcast? Well, back in 2005, ABC Primetime and John Quinones, the reporter, showed up at the University of Colorado at Denver where the scientists were working to formulate this product and showed up with a film crew to disprove what they had heard, that this natural product literally slows down the rate in which human cells age. So they showed up with a camera crew and put it to the test. The guy said, draw my blood and prove it to me. So guess what? They drew his blood and they proved it to him and found out that not just the 40% in 30 days reduction, it had to be done in less than 2 weeks because the program was going to air. John Quinones' blood was taken before and after, and within 12 days, less than 2 weeks, his oxidative stress was lowered by 45%. And they broadcast it all over the country on June 5th of 2005. We had $5 million in orders in 3 days. You might think that was great. Not to a company who had done the best year ever. Best year ever was $3 million for the whole year. And we got $5 million of orders in 3 days. Company couldn't handle it, couldn't keep up with the demand. The product back order went to 9 months, literally within 3 days, and the company almost imploded. But we learned that a population of people wanted what we have, and what we had was proven and couldn't be disproved. So we had to gather, reformulate, rethink this whole thing, and we came out with a network marketing approach where people are informed about the benefits of the products before they buy them. So there's no impulsive buying, there's just educated buying, and it's made a dramatic difference. And in 2000, at the end of 2009, beginning of 2010, we switched to network marketing and have never looked back. We just completed our 10th year in business at over $250 million in sales. So from 3 million to 250 million plus in 10 years. Do you think it was the right decision? Absolutely. And we are publicly traded on the NASDAQ LFVN. Please, please, please go look at what our company's stock has done over the last 10 years and ask yourself why. Because we provide remedies to what people are looking for, longevity and a way to earn a living from home, and we do it masterfully in a publicly traded way. So we have corporate leadership that is absolutely exemplary. Top 3 executives of our company have over 100 years combined in this industry, taking companies like ours to $1 billion in annual sales and beyond. So our leadership is exemplary. Now, where do we do business? The top 2 rows that you see are our countries that we are doing business in with distributorships, meaning there are people in all of those top 2 rows that own their own businesses and they work from home. The bottom row is where we start our customer program, our global customer program, where we introduce new countries to have a product experience so they can receive the benefits of the products. And once they vet that out, then we open it up to the business opportunity and coming online actually. So today's the 5th of November, in a little over a week, actually in a week from now. So on the November 12th, we open up New Zealand. And that's how, with the customer program at the bottom, is how we go into new countries, by giving them a product experience first, which is just simply good business. So a proven system. This is very, very critical. So what you may be hearing right now may sound enticing to you, may give you some curious questions to ask, but is there a system to follow? So following the benefits of why franchises are so popular and so predictably successful is there is a proven system to follow. So whether you're a high school dropout or a multiple degree college grad, you follow the system, you get the same outcome. That's what we have here. So this laptop lifestyle that people have around the world, where you've probably seen some of the pictures on social media where they're sitting in their lounge chair with their cocktail and their feet up, and they're with a pool or the beach in the background. It's like, here's my office for the day. Wish you were here, but you're not. You're in your cubicle. So we get that. Well, we've kind of taken it a step further. With social sharing and with cell phone technology, the digital platform, we literally run a global business from our cell phone devices, and we can give you the same connectivity, flexibility, and convenience by giving you a system that has been tested and proven for the last 10 years. So it's app-based. And all new distributors get this free app and their free website to run it from, but you connect with a team. You're never alone in this business unless you choose to, and that would be your choice and not recommended. The team approach, the system approach, and the support is why our business success is so predictable, and you can take control on your own terms. You just have to decide. And the training that comes along with this, because building a business is one thing, but if you've never done it before, you've never followed a system like this, we have training, regional and corporate trainings to teach you the skills necessary to build a proven business following a proven system. It comes down to whether your mobile device, your iPad, your computer. We run it right here. You can run it anywhere where you've got Wi-Fi or cell coverage, and it's a proven system. Duplicated website comes for free with all new distributors in the business, and you have the ability to share your cart. So if you're familiar with shopping on Amazon, it's the same situation. You load the cart and you check out. For people that are interested in this, we can load a cart for them and put the cart into a text message and send it to them, and they check out. If they're already in our database, all the information is auto-populated. All they have to do is put in their payment information and check out in under 3 minutes. Pretty convenient and pretty awesome. Part of the system. Now let's talk about network marketing statistics. Maybe you're one of those people that have tried network marketing before and it didn't work out for you. And the 2 biggest concerns or criticisms is, network marketing, there's no money to be made, or the money is made only by the people at the top. And I have to tell you, that's what I thought for the longest time, until I looked into the actual business and looked into the actual statistics. And so in 2-year increments here from 2011, 158 billion, that's with a B, $158 billion was spent on products that are distributed through network marketing around the world in 2011. That jumped to in 2017, so just 2 years ago, 189 billion. And because we are just rounding out 2019, next year we will share with you how dramatically it's even jumped since then, because more people have home-based businesses in 2019 than they did in 2017 or obviously 2011. So this number is significantly rising by giving people the ability to run a network marketing business globally from your home, connectivity-wise, through your mobile device. So network marketing facts, unbelievable. So here's really where the rubber meets the road for you and where the decision-making comes in. The timing aspect of it. Is it the right timing for you? Well, if you're looking to become healthier with products that are scientifically proven, then sure. If you know people that are looking to become healthier with scientifically backed products, then sure. Or if you're looking to make extra money in a proven way, the timing is there for you. Let me share with you the 2 curves that you're seeing. The red curve is a bell curve. It's literally how people deal with change or new information, how they embrace it, or in some cases they don't. The blue curve that you see is called the business S curve. It's the life cycle of a business, and I'll get into them specifically. Let me talk about the red curve first. So maybe this is new information for you. Maybe you're hearing about nutrigenomics and biohacking and these kinds of scientifically backed products for the first time, and you're skeptical. You should be. I commend you for being skeptical. You should be, to protect yourself and the people that you love and care about. That just means that you're not an innovator, and that's okay. Innovators are people that just jump on something because it's new. They're looking for the newest, latest, greatest thing. But look at the number. It's only 2.5% of the population. That's the crazy people that just jump on anything new. I'm going to give you an analogy. When I was using my BlackBerry back in 2007, when the iPhone 1 came out, I wanted to see, with my BlackBerry kind of chip on my shoulder, how these iPhone people are faring. I want to see what someone else's experience is first. I want to watch somebody else use an iPhone before I jump, because I was happy on a BlackBerry. So I wasn't an innovator. In fact, I wasn't even an early adopter. Early adopter is like, okay, the iPhone 2 comes out, the iPhone 3, they jump on board. Not me. But look at the numbers. It's an additional 13.5%. They wanted more than just someone else's experience. I did. I wanted expert opinion too, on someone else's experience and an expert advice. So I was an early majority. I was reading the articles. I was reading what they were saying about cell phone technology. I was having problems with my BlackBerry while people weren't having problems with their iPhone. And when the iPhone 5 came out, I jumped on board, identifying myself as early majority. Look at all the people that were in my boat too, 34%. And then this is the iPhone 11. So I've been an iPhone user since iPhone 5, but now the late majority, those are people that still have Android devices or maybe flip phones, or still using dial-up phones, or maybe tapping the way we used to do, back in the 1920s. I don't mean to be crass or make fun. I'm just saying people do not embrace change readily, but they do have criteria. So if you follow up, if you give them permission to ask their doctors, if you give them permission to read the research, if you give them permission to have an experience, they will, and eventually they will join you, because nobody really is a laggard. Meaning, yeah, that sounds good, it's just not for me. Because most people I know, if given a choice for health, will take it. If given a choice to make money, will take it. So really, laggards don't apply in this situation. Now let's talk about the blue curve, the business S curve. More specifically, what you see right in the middle, momentum. The phase of that curve where momentum is, where people capitalize on the growth. It's when enough information has gotten out there, enough experience has gotten out there, enough time has transpired. And the first 10 years is the sweet spot. 90% of companies don't make it 10 years. They just don't. We have just had our 10th year and our best year ever. So we are where you see the early. On that blue curve, that asterisk is where momentum begins and it rides all the way up. That's when a company's profitability is predictable, because the proven services or products that they have are guaranteed, and people have had an experience. So you're not a trailblazer anymore. You're not an innovator. You're not an early adopter. You're in the early majority, and published science and third-party credibility comes to back that up. So momentum is where you want to be, capitalizing on the duration of it. And we're not even to where that asterisk is, which is the sweet spot. And we're publicly traded, so you can vet this all out yourself. The question ultimately is, do you know people who want to make money, and do you know people who want to be healthier? If so, this might be the perfect timing for you. So how do we get involved? We call it fast tracking with a pack. So people that get involved in this business typically do it with predictable success, which is why we have something called the Platinum Pack. Plus the starter kit, it's $1,250 initial investment, one-time investment, for over $1,900 of all of our products. So you get all of the most popular products and the other products like Axio and our Omega Plus products, the products that just impact the overall process that the other products started to give you a greater health expression. $1,900 plus were the products for a $1,250 investment, but you also get a ticket, a free ticket to the next corporate regional-based system training, and you also get your free website that we talked about. But more importantly, you get the asset list that you see on the right, the corporate team, the production facilities, the quality control department, shipping and receiving, customer service with the hundreds of people in the phone rooms answering questions. the website and the IT department to keep it going, advertising, marketing, legal and compliance, accounting, events and promotion, all comes with the free of charge. Those all come free of charge with your $1,250 investment in a platinum pack, which is where the solidity of your process and the solidity of your decision comes into play because of predictability. Well, how do you make money in this? Show me the money. It's easy. We have a weekly based money system and we have a monthly based money system. Well, if as I was talking about these products, any names popped into your head about people that could benefit from that kind of a product, that's going to be your network of consumers. Simply share this information with them and invite them to join you or invite them to purchase the products, and you start your business that way. And in doing so, you get paid weekly, the bonuses that come along with that, because here's the real deal, guys. This is a business. Our ultimate objective is to make you profit, because if you recoup your investment and you're making profit, you're in the green. That's the whole approach to being successful in business, is becoming profitable. And the average company doesn't make it there until year 3 or year 5. We would rather do that in week 3 or week 5, which is why we have a system like this. If you've been thinking about people that you know that need money, or could use an extra side hustle, or use an extra couple $100 a month, or a couple $1,000 a month, that's going to be your network of distributors. Share the information and let them join at whatever level is right for them. That's how we get paid monthly, the residual, where you enroll people and they enroll people and they enroll people as these products or business opportunity applies, and you get paid every 15th of the month. The bigger that group goes, the bigger the check gets. And we have elite bonuses. Here's something we figured out at LifeVantage. There's a checkered past of network marketing, and not everybody who's tried it before has had success, because some people have gotten in and nobody was there to help them. We figured that out with the generational matching bonus. If you encourage people, more specifically, you incentivize them to work as a team, they simply do, and you get bonuses for generational matching bonuses. But it goes beyond that. How about if you get teams that are building great and other teams maybe not? But if you get teams to work together as a community, everybody wins. That's our elite pool. We literally take 4% of global revenue every single month and put it into a pool, and we split it among the top 4 ranks of the company to continue to incentivize the leaders to help everybody, not just the people in their own organization. Because one of the biggest criticisms, and rightly so, of this industry has been, I tried that and nobody helped me. Because no company figured out if you incentivize people financially to help people, they simply do. And if you make it predicated that they won't get paid until their team get paid, they do even more. And that's what our bonuses are all about. Helping people help people, and we all celebrate in the end. And we even took it a step further. If you've ever seen a pink Cadillac with a Mary Kay logo on it, thank you, Mary Kay. You started an amazing process. But there's a downside. What if your business didn't hit its plateau, or it didn't hit your quota that month? That lease payment on that Cadillac still needed to be paid, but you're paying for it instead of Mary Kay. Now, maybe it only happens 2 out of 12 months. It's still, or maybe only 1 out of 12 months. Even if it happened one time in 5 years, that's one car payment that you shouldn't have made if you built it right. So we decided we didn't want to enter that equation. We're just going to give you the keys and title to a free Jeep. No questions asked, just go build your business to the qualifying rank and we give you a free Jeep. And then we discovered that not everybody likes Jeeps. So we decided, hey, how about a $25,000 gift? Maybe even a $25,000 check. So you go buy whatever you want. But we've got Harleys, we've got Rolexes, we've got jet skis, we've got the Polaris slingshot, we've got shopping sprees in Paris and Milan. We've got gifts to satisfy anybody's $25,000 taste, including you, and let us show you by building your business, and we'll reward you accordingly. So how far can you take this? As far as you'd like. So again, let me remind you that we are a publicly traded company. This information that I'm sharing with you right here makes this a legally binding document because we're publicly traded. I want you to focus on the third column, left to right, monthly average, because everybody can be average. I'm not going to talk to you about how much money can be made. I'm talking to you about how much money is being made down to the dollar at every one of the ranks of our company, from our distributor all the way down to our executive master Pro 10, from $12 a month all the way to $123,000 a month. And this has all been done in the last 10 years. So how do you shorten that curve to get as much money in the shortest amount of time? Simple. Learn the process and follow the system. And you too can have any number there. So let me just focus on a couple numbers here. Look at Pro 3, the first one in blue, $636 a month. Most people can do that within a year. Working part-time, following a system with a team of support working part-time. A year from now, if you did nothing different in your business, would you get a $636 a month raise in your current job? If the answer is no, do you think you can spend the next year working part-time following a proven system with a team of support to help you get that? That's the kind of results that we have here. Or take it another step. How about Premier Pro 5? Most people can do this in 2 years or less, working part-time. Could you follow a system, a proven system, and tap into a team of support for 2 years to get an extra $2,922 per month? Or an extra $35,000 per year? That's the numbers, guys. That is the legally binding document. Or if you did nothing, if you didn't decide to join our company and you just did what you're doing currently in your own job, in 2 years, would you have an extra $2,900 a month coming in or 35 grand a year raise? Most people, $3,500 a year raise would be amazing in the next 2 years. These are the kind of results that we have. My wife, Marcy, and I have built up an Elite Pro 9 business in the last 10 years, and we are not anywhere near being done because we have a lot of people that have goals on here. And here's my challenge to you. Look at that column. Look at that monthly average and identify the number that you would have to make per month to make this even worth your while. And then tell the person who invited you on this webinar tonight what that number is, and I guarantee you, if you follow the system, we can help you accomplish it in the next 10 years. Because every one of those numbers, including $123,000 per month, all of us started at zero, and some people in the last 10 years have built up to that level. That's the system, and that's the certainty that I have. So just pick a number and let your person who shared with you tonight know what that is, and we can help you get there. So let me share with you now, as in closing in tonight's presentation, the lifeline options that you now have. Prior to tonight, maybe you were working and operating in the traditional 40 to 50 plan, where you put in 40 to 50 hours per week for 40 to 50 years to retire, hopefully, on 40 to 50% of what you couldn't live on when you were working anyway. That's the traditional plan. And unfortunately, 5% or less can even get to the point of retirement. But I want you to look at the numbers. 20 years, the first 20 years of life is when we're born, we grow up, we go to school, we get a job or a career, and we spend 40 to 50 years in that job or career just to retire. And the average lifespan is 73 years. So we retire, let's say we did retire at 65. We've got 8 years left of uncertain income, which is fixed, to lead a quality life. Maybe some of us want that approach. I'm here to give you another one, the LifeVantage Lifeline. The first 20 years are the same. We're born, we grow, we get a job, we get a career, or we're open to looking at a different model. And you can spend, let's just say it's 10 years max. Would you spend the next 10 years, even if you're 20 when you hear this, or you're 40 when you hear this, or you're 50, 60, whatever, would you spend the next 10 years to create a predictable pension plan for you, which is not just a pension plan, but it is a willable asset? So whatever that business grows, when you pass it down to your next of kin, and they can do that. And then they could, 4 generations of an asset we're building here. So you just decide what level you want. Think back to that chart that I just showed you and how long you're willing to work at it, because here's what I know to be true. If residual income or a pension is paying your lifestyle, it's much better than having to go work before you get paid. Working for money versus having money work for you, money working for you is a much better option, and that's what we have at the LifeVantage option. So you can decide how much money you want to make, and you can decide how you want to live, and it's not dependent on someone else's pension plan that doesn't work anymore. So that's an opportunity and an option that you have now that maybe you didn't have before. So let's close with this. Never depend on a single income. Make an investment time and effort to create a second source so that you don't have to rely on something that may go away like that. If you get injured on the job, if something happens to you, if the company you're working for gets purchased and you have to go somewhere else, that's the unfortunate reality that happens to quite some time, or happens to quite a few people. So never depend on a single income. Develop 2, 3, or 4 additional sources of income and secure your pension plan in the future. And I invite you to do it with LifeVantage. The company, let me share with you a little bit about our company. We're a legacy-based company. The products, or the organizations that you see there on your screen are companies that we've worked with and organizations that we've worked with over the last 10 years. From deworming the world to providing malaria nets in Africa to school lunches here in America, to shoes for impoverished people that don't have them, to smile correction for people that were born with cleft lips and cleft palates, where we actually provide the surgeries, the aftercare and expense of the surgery. We provide these things because we partner with these types of companies and we pour resources and time and effort into them. Currently, we're working with Families Helping Families in Mexico, where we raise money throughout the year and we take 300 to 400 people down into Mexico and we build homes for impoverished families and we give them the keys to their brand new home. We've done that 25 times. 25 homes we've built, and this year, actually next month, we plan on building 5 or 6 more. We're currently partnering with Families Helping Families, but if you look around the screen, that's the heart of our company, charitable giving. Because when the rest of the world, we make it easier on them, they return the favor and the world just simply gives back. That's the kind of a company we are. We're a legacy company and we invite you to join it. So get back to the person who invited you tonight and simply be honest with them. Give them a number rating on a scale of 1 to 10. What your interest level is. 1, you're not really interested in the business, but you want to take some of these products. Just let them know what products and they'll send you a cart. It'll be easy to check out. Or 10, you're ready to get started in the business and develop an income stream and show other people how to do the same. Or maybe you're somewhere in the middle. You've got questions. You want to research this. You've got stuff you want to see. Perfect. Get back to the person who invited you and simply let them know where you're at. And even if this is a 0, you're not interested at all. Maybe you know somebody who would be. So please let the person that invited you tonight know who you may know that this would be a perfect fit for, because I guarantee you right now, there's something I know to be true all over the world. There's people that are praying for health options that they don't currently have. And there's people that are praying for financial options that they don't currently have. And you may know some of those people. So even if this isn't for you, please let the person who invited you tonight know who it may be an interest for. And let us, through you, help the world. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful night and God bless.